Okay, I stopped and had a little bit of dinner with my wife, and we had chicken and potatoes. So now what we're going to do with this one, again, oh, I need a screwdriver for this one, hold on. Okay, now for this one we're going to do pretty much the same thing, except we're using a screwdriver. I'm going to put the wrench on and go counterclockwise, and I'm going to hold the current setting by going clockwise, and just holding the tension with the screwdriver and actually turning the nut to loosen it. Okay, there we go. We're going to back it off and give me room to move it in and out. Same thing here. Whoops, there we go. Clockwise with the screwdriver, counterclockwise with the wrench. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay, now, the compound right now is really free. And I think that's where some of my chatter last night was coming in from. So what we're going to do is slowly turn it and see how it runs. Same thing here, turn it in a little bit, see how it runs. And it seems to be binding just a little bit on the inward turning. Okay, so we're going to back it all the way. It's full length of travel. It'll stop here in just a second. Okay, and I'm going to tighten up just a little bit more here. Righty-tighty. I'm going to see what that does and not tighten this one up. See if it makes a difference. It's still pretty free, so I'm going to stop. Tighten up a little bit more on this one. And see, I can definitely feel a difference there. So I'm going to back out a hair on this one. I'm going to go in just a touch on this one. Keep going. There we go. Nice and tight right there. So I'm going to back off just a touch. Now that one I actually had to turn about a quarter of a turn, which kind of surprises me. So I'm going to turn it just a wee bit more here and run it a couple of times. Same thing with this one now that we're going backwards. Okay, that one's snug right there. It's not tight, it's snug. And my compound is a lot more snug. Even though it's not tight, it is snug. So I'm going to run, it's at its max travel. I'm going to run it back in again. I think I'm going to have to tighten this left one up just a wee bit more. We'll run it in its full length of travel. Now I'm really happy with this granite so far. Even though I'm not a machinist, I bought it to learn on. Okay, we're going to tighten that GIBS up just a wee bit more, right there. All the way back out again. As I was saying about the granite, I did not adjust the GIBS when I first bought it. I ran it for a while, and last night I was getting some chatter from a cutoff tool, and I understand that's common. Okay, I'm going to tighten this one up just a little bit more. I understand that's common, people having difficulties with a cutoff tool, so I'm happy to say that I'm not the only one, and neither are you if you're having problems. Okay, now this is a lot, it's a little smoother, and it's nice and snug. So I think I'm going to leave it right where it's at right now, and I'll play with that cutoff tool again later and see how this works, because right now it's nice and smooth, it's well oiled, it's clean. So let me check my monitor right quick, make sure that I have that centered. Yep, I do. I'll try to keep my hands out of the way. So this time we're going to go right or clockwise with the nut, and we're going to hold the screw by putting just a little bit of counterclockwise on it, but not undoing it. Just holding its position, because it definitely wants to turn with the nut. There we go. And then before I call it quits on this, I'll run it in and out a couple more times, just to make sure that I didn't bind it when I tightened up the nuts there. So the compound is a little tight. It's running clean and smooth though. It's all the way in. I'm going to go all the way out again. We'll go all the way in again when it stops. Right about here. And we'll go in one more time. Now, I'm getting a little bit of seepage here, so I definitely tightened it up some, because that seepage was not there before. So it's all the way in. I'm going to stop. I'm going to clean up around the edges of the compound here. And then we're going to see about taking some of the play out of the threaded rod that controls the cross slide. Now the cross slide is a little bit tighter. I will run the machine. I might have it a little too tight. We'll find out here in just a few minutes. And I'll be back once I take out some of the play, because if you look right now, let me see, I'm going to move the camera a little bit here. Okay, come over here and up a little bit. Try not to jar the camera too much. But if you look, I have 15 thousandths play in that handle right now. So I'm hoping to take at least half of that out, if not more. If I can get it down to 5, that would be even better. I have not tried this before, so I'll get it on tape and see what happens. So I'll be back. Okay, we're going back on the cardboard box. This is the 4 screws that adjust the cross thread screw right above the saddle. So this is for the cross slide adjustment to take the backlash, or to help remove some of the backlash out of the cross slide itself. So I'm going to go backwards here a little bit. You're on the cardboard box again. I apologize for that. But what you do, the first thing you have to do is remove this cross plate that I'm going to lift up the camera again. This plate right here goes on the back of the lathe right here, and it actually covers and conceals this part right here. This is the actual cross slide screw. This is the adjusting nut, and these 4 cornered screws actually help you take some of the backlash out. And I've been successful in removing some, but I need to remove just a little bit more here. So and the way you do this, now mind you, this is the Granite 1340, okay, the 1340 Max. But basically, what you do is you rotate the cross slide and you adjust the screw during the motion until it starts to tighten up a little bit and bind, and then you back off some until it loosens up. And then you move to the next screw, and then you're basically going all the way around, working around the whole thing until you remove enough backlash till it's comfortable. You cannot eliminate backlash, so don't even try. However, you can reduce it. I've managed to get rid of about 5 thousandths of an inch of turn in backlash, and that's probably about all I'm going to achieve, but I'm going to try for just a little bit more here. So rotate the screw, the cross slide screw, till it starts to bind, and then stop. And then we got one more here. Do the same thing. Rotate the cross slide, and it's beginning to bind right there. So I'm going to stop. And the total that I have removed by doing this, I'm down to about 7 thousandths, down from about 16 thousandths that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to take and put a little bit of graphite in here on my dovetails. I'll show you that dovetail right quick. Put a little bit of graphite here and on the other one as well. Sorry if that don't come out very well. Graphite here and here. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but let me try zooming in a little bit And you can see that they're pretty rough. So the graphite will act as an abrasive and a lubricant both, work its way in there, and hopefully eventually smooth some of this out for a little bit smoother run. So let me put the graphite on there, and we'll put the cover plate back on and try it out and see how this adjustment works.